I think this got it. Zoom doesn't do the voice. This meeting is being live streamed. Zoom doesn't do the voice. This meeting is being live streamed. Zoom doesn't do the voice. This meeting is being live streamed. Okay. So we have to make it stop echoing. Okay. So we have to make it stop echoing. I go through this every time. How about now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Excellent. Okay. That's all that matters. Perfect.
Yay.
Yay. So it's just me turning my volume off. You'd think that I'd learn this every Wednesday, but it's early and I don't. So, you know, it's fine.
Sometimes we have to do things more than, 5 times, 10 times.
Okay, good. Good. All right. Well, here we are. It's 8:16 a.m., 7:16 a.m. on the west coast of North America. Hello, everybody. Good morning. I am Samantha Buckley Hugessen, Master Life Coach for Women in Business and the host of the Women in Business Network and Community. I'm having fun already this morning. Okay, so it's Woohoo Wednesday here in the Women in Business Network and Community. And this is your day to boast and brag and shine or market your business. Just remember, we only allow marketing upon introduction. So like when you come into the group and we say, introduce yourself. So then you can tell us all about you. And on Wednesdays, so today and every Wednesday is your day. The rest of the week, it's dedicated to like motivation, mindset, turning challenges into opportunities, networking, connecting, and sometimes just being in a safe place to ask and be with our other women in business that are going through the stuff of life. So for now, this morning, that was that loud that I clapped, until—
I didn't even hear your clap.
Oh, okay. Well, until the top of the hour, we are spotlighting a fellow woman in business, sister, amiga, to lead, inspire, teach, and grow you. So without any further ado, my girlfriend this morning, Miss Julie Alstrup. Julie, hooray!
Thanks so much for having me, Samantha. I'm really delighted to share with our community, the community that you've created here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So let me brag about you a little bit. I'm going to share your bio with everybody, and then we're just going to jump into it. Sound good?
Sounds great.
So Julie partners with experienced women to leverage their leadership skills so that they can collapse the amount of time it takes to get from where they are to where they want to be. So it's kind of a quantum leapy thing. Clients appreciate her experience, her proven processes, success strategies, and deep commitment to their success. She's reached the top 1% in her industry as an entrepreneur, has received international leadership awards, and shared a TEDx talk. That's just so cool, by the way, and has been seen around the world. Her clients are mission-driven women who desire to make a difference while creating financial and time abundance in their life, serving globally. This is my friend Julie. And so, Jules, what are we going to talk about today? What do you want to share with all the women? So you and I have had the opportunity to talk, girlfriend talk, like leader to leader and girlfriend to girlfriend. So you know that when I created this community, the design of it was that it's meant to be life and business for women. Yeah. It's not just meant to be some, oh, here we are in another networking thing or trying to sell our shit or whatever. It is about having a place where women can go. And most of the people on this platform, they are the head of the house. They are the head of their department. They are the head of their company. They've got a lot on their shoulders, right?
Yeah.
A lot. And so a lot of this is where's a safe place for us to go? So that's why I'm a life coach for leaders, right?
Yeah.
As much as you are also a coach, and you and I do very similar things, which is awesome, because here's the deal. I support you, you support me, and we support the masses. Yay.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And so even if we did have the same message, how we deliver it is different. And that's where it lands and we get to support, you know. So
Yeah.
what do you have for our women in business today, knowing it's December and shit is getting real with the holidays and the end of year pressures and all that? What do you got going on?
Yeah, all the things. Well, and it's so interesting to me. End of the year, in the northern hemisphere, it's dark. It's dark. And I think a lot of times in our world, things feel dark and heavy. And when we tap into and remember and show up in, which, is not always easy. However, when we show up in our light and in our brilliance, that's when we change the world. And that, like you said, Samantha, the professional and personal go together. They go together because we're whole human beings. And so the thing that I really am passionate about is when we change the way we see ourselves, the things we see change. I got a hair up,
Yeah, yeah.
and that has stemmed from my 20-year experience as a counselor, my, really rapid entrepreneurial growth as a photographer. And for women, it's real. And
Yeah.
so showing up in our brilliance, seeing our own brilliance, owning our own brilliance, knowing our own brilliance.
Okay.
There you go.
I hope people wrote that down because it's so in tune, it's so in sync, and the messages again are so similar. I was on with a client yesterday who's, just feels like there's just pressure and negativity all around them, right? And especially again this time of year, a lot of pressure to end the year, and then a lot of pressure from the families and holidays, and just and the coaching I gave her was, of course, let's get back into, don't wait for circumstances to change.
Right.
Let's go. Let's start with our gratitudes. Let's go. Let's it's all about reframing right now. When you're feeling negative or you're, forgetting the greatness that's within you and you're calling it the brilliance.
Yes. Yeah.
Same. When you forget that, you rob so many people and yourself. So I'm going to ask our ladies that if you are experiencing a stream of yuckiness, I want you, pressures or negativity or whatever, I want you to stop and think about your own thoughts.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Reframe the thought? And you're not a victim in this, you're a victor. And I think that's one of the things is that we just get like, oh my God. So dig deep and remember that you were created perfectly, right?
Yeah.
That's something that you talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Samantha, I love when you did this, you went like, right, like that clenching doesn't serve us or serve anyone else. And it's that very, that energy of like, okay, I'm gonna hunker down and clear it. Well, no, right? Like, let's open up, let's expand. And it's not, it's not to shame anyone for what we do because it's a habit and it's our culture. And that's why having this space for us, is a way to, it's like, let's expand and let's feel safe doing that. I love it. Yeah. None of this.
Well, and it's amazing how many women, you and I both work mostly exclusively with women, not only, but that's the goal. Or men that act like women are okay, but just kidding. We're not a bunch of man haters. I just like to joke.
Yeah, no, I have great men in my life for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But what a lot of us do is we forget to breathe.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure that people listening right now, like they go, yeah, no, I forget to breathe sometimes.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden they catch themselves or they clench. I clench. I broke my tooth clenching in my, you know what I mean? In my sleep, my teeth are totally shattered. Right? Yeah. It's so funny. Those were the bad dreams I used to have growing up, is my teeth were crumbling out of my mouth because it's this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's not serving anybody.
Yeah.
Start within. I know that you send this message, we start within, like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm great, I'm wonderful, this is all working out, what can I do next? Right? And it's funny because I did it, you know, when people join the group, there's a survey asking them what they want to get out of it. Do you know that more than 40% just wanted a place where women could be and talk and like be safe? But yeah, still most people in this group are just doing networking stuff. I think they're still afraid. It's like, what if I get found out? What if, you know, what if I get found out that I'm not all this? Well, you are all that, by the way, girlfriends. That's
Right. That's what I love. Like, what if I get found out? Isn't that the whole idea? Like,
yeah.
when we, right?
Yeah.
Like, when we show up, like the best people are going to come to us, because when, like, not the people that we don't want, not the crankies and the haters or any of that, like, and if they do, release, like, bless and release, adios.
Bless and release, adios. Well, and that's, you're being so great. I mean, I love this random direction we're going in this conversation, because it's just what needs to be said this morning.
Yeah.
What needs to be said is, you show up as you, in your light, in your greatness, in your brilliance. And when shitty things start happening around you, they're not going to get inside that beautiful armor, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Go back to your thoughts. What are you thinking? Oh, I'm stressed. This sucks. What's the next thing going to happen? Oh my God, I can't do that. I promise you're going to pile more and more on. Stop the talk. Yes. Stop the talk. Yeah. Give us some teachings this morning. Give us some yummy brilliance, you know, of like what you do and where you come from to serve these women in this community.
So as I shared, my entrepreneurial journey began as a photographer, and I still work with women in our, you know, to show up in our brilliance, and we do the branding and show all of that. And one of the things that we often don't do is like accept appreciation. And there are a couple of things that I do at a photo shoot that I'll share here that I really don't share very much. I've also got a YouTube channel, and I've got an episode on there about gratitude and self-gratitude that I'd love to have people tune in, but I'll share.
Please make sure that you load it in comments later.
Yeah, I will, because it's super, super powerful. So there's this thing that I say, you know, when women are on camera, when they're being photographed, when they're at my studio. And, you know, if I'm sharing with them, okay, you look spectacular, you know, and so often women will say, oh no, or that's just, you know, we push it away. And so when we have the energy of thank you or gratitude or a compliment coming to us. So this is a success strategy. There's proof around this. I used to, you know, I've got 20 years experience, 20 plus years experience. Instead of saying, you know, diminishing it or I'm not that or whatever, if we can say, thank you. Right. And in our own mind, we can say it out loud if you want to, if you feel comfortable. You know, sometimes it feels, you know, I love, Samantha, that you've said this is a safe space, that we create this here. But if you can like take a deep breath in, like, and breathe in that energy and say, thank you, I am that. Now that might be a big, bold move to do if you're in public, right? Or no, if you're having coffee with a girlfriend, maybe you could be like, thank you, I am that, and practice it, and then teach her that same technique. And if you are out in public and someone gives you a compliment and you don't feel comfortable doing the whole, you know, taking a deep breath, thank you, I am that. If you can just say, thank you. And in your mind's eye, take it in, bring it all in. Yeah.
Okay.
Bask in the glorious goodness of who you are.
Okay, this is, I know, going to land on almost everybody because I don't know a lot of people that are really good at graciously receiving. When I
Yeah,
say that, I'm talking about us women.
yeah,
We're getting shit done. Oh, it's nothing. Oh, that's no. We play small, even though we are the serious powerhouses that we are, right?
yeah, yeah,
So this is another way, if I can piggyback on that amazing advice, is that if you can't receive a compliment, you're kind of an asshole because someone is trying to give to you. So be a gracious receiver.
yeah, right.
Right? Be a gracious receiver. It also goes with, maybe receiving a gift or something. Now, I mean, if you've got some stalker and they're being creepy, well, no, I'm not talking about that. But I'm
No.
talking, yeah, but I'm talking about, hey, let me get this.
Yeah,
Hey, blah, blah, blah. No, you don't have to. No, of course I don't have to. Please
right.
receive it because it makes me feel good to give.
Right.
So
And I think
there's
yeah,
no.
especially this time of year, right? Like if someone comes to your home, or we've all taught our children and writing thank you notes, saying please and thank you. You know, so that's like a given. And yet, if we're not doing it ourselves, if we're not creating the opportunity for that beautiful receiving energy, receiving that beautiful energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yay. Good. Yeah. So we're talking about that, ladies. If you're given a compliment or given a something, thank you is appropriate.
yeah. And if it's I am that,
I am that.
in our own mind's eye, right? Samantha, you are so beautiful and so brilliant for creating this community.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am that, right?
I am that. Oh,
Yeah.
I have goosebumps. I'm gonna hang out.
Good.
I'm gonna hang out with you extra long this morning. All right. What other kind of, so you've got some groups going and some courses and some classes. What are the other things that you teach and give? Like keep giving some goodies here for people to take to work with them today.
Yep. So it's personal as well as professional development. I think there's this idea that women, we have to have it all and we have to do it this way. And there's all these like this kind of energy, not that, this kind of energy.
Yeah.
And really, let's take so I think it was like 2010, the Dalai Lama said, it's the Western woman that's going to change the world. And at the time, I remember thinking, dude, I love you, but really? Like now we have to do that too? Are you kidding me? Right? Right? However,
Another thing. That
right.
was a
One
given. We
more thing
already
to put
gave
on my
you.
list.
Yeah. No.
Right. So so what I teach and what I share and what I help women expand with is this idea of it's the way that we do things, you know, it's how we do things, and it will change the world, and it's instead of this, this like driving energy, it's this expansive energy, instead of that clenching in, it's expansive, right? And there's
Mhm.
enough for all of us because we all want different things.
Yeah. Well, even if we want the same things, there's no lack in the world.
No lack in the universe.
There's
Nope.
no lack in the universe, and I know that's a tough one for a lot of people to digest. Well, what about the starving people here? And listen, there's enough. Everything was created to be enough for everyone.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
the truth of the matter is, in the US alone, we produce enough food to feed the planet. It's
yeah,
just that it goes, you know what I mean? So there's no
yeah,
lack. There's a
no,
lack of distribution,
yeah,
but
yeah,
not a lack. We get out of competition, which
yes,
is restrictive,
yeah,
and we go into the knowing there's enough for everybody. There's enough for everybody. And don't get all worked up. Recognize you're not alone, you know? Uh,
right.
And it's also that the universe is responding to your thoughts and your energy. So when we get back like this, we're going back. This is our topic today. Clenching the teeth, forgetting to breathe. You know, that is lacking trust that it's all here. It's all going to work out.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines that we use all the time is, this is just what it looks like as it's working out.
Right. Yes.
That's with the energy of there is a solution. And for that, I'm grateful. I may not know what it is, but I know it exists. So this is just what it looks like as it's working out.
Yeah.
So far, 100% of the time, we're still here. It's worked out.
It's working out. It's working out for us. 100%. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So tell us more like about, you go out and speak a lot. What was your TEDx talk on? Just curious. Like I didn't watch it. I know.
Well, so yeah, thank you for asking. I love, speaking. I love sharing information, So my TED Talk is about changing the way we see ourselves. And I really believe when we change the way we see ourselves. Okay, so Wayne Dyer said, when we change the way we see things, the things we see change. I feel like when we go a little deeper with that, and when we change the way we see ourselves, the things we see change.
That's so good. That's so yummy right there.
So that's what my TED Talk's about. And my TED Talk, I've got some examples of women that I photographed and the changes that they see when they're literally seen through someone else's lens. Right. And it's reflected back to you in a really visual form. Nearly 90% of everything that our brain processes in any given moment. Okay, get that? Nearly 90% is visual. And so when we see that, like, there's the physical of who we are and that essence of who we are. When we can see that, it changes everything. It changes everything.
So I want to clarify a few things here. One is, a lot of us, the way we see our, when you say that, we're going, yeah, but I've got this pooch. They're seeing themselves in what they don't want to see. Right. That's how we do it. When I get dressed in the morning, I'm like, does this show my, menopausal belly? Does, blah, blah, blah. So we start off on that. But the truth is that when we show up in our brilliance and that energy and that essence, that's the word you use, which I love.
Yeah.
That actually will also change how other people see us.
Yeah.
Right. So it starts within. It starts within. So we show up and we're not talking about being braggadocious or, pounding our chest. I'm a strong, independent woman stuff. We're just talking about showing up in the perfection in which we were designed. And then the license we were all given to design our lives.
Yeah.
Right. We are not a victim of our life. We're not, we're not victims in our life. We actually are, ass kicking women, making it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. I want to grab these tidbits. What are some of these takeaways really quick? Because I want people to grab some takeaways we're not done yet, by the way, but we talked about so far your brilliance, which is within you.
Yeah.
Right. And to let it out. Don't push it down.
Right.
I called it be a gracious receiver, but you introduced it as accept the compliment. Say, thank you. I am.
Right. Own it. Own your brilliance, right?
Own it.
Yeah.
Okay. What were some other good little takeaways, tidbits this morning? Because I always want, my background is in training and management and leadership. Right. And so I always want to make sure that we transfer something brilliant to people, that aligns.
So the other one that we just talked about is when we change the way we see ourselves, the things we see change.
Amen.
right?
Amen. That's if anybody can put that on just for like today, just see what happens. See
Yeah.
yourself in your greatness today, right?
Mhm.
And if you're not thinking high, beautiful, incredible thoughts of yourself, if you just can't do that, then another really cool tool is, all right, well, I'm going to put on somebody I really admire today, and I'm going to imposter that person. I'm going to be that person. So hypothetically, today I'm going to go through life like I'm Julie. And when somebody gives me a compliment, I'm going to say, thank you. I am. Isn't that interesting? It's really fun to put on approximate role models.
Yeah, that is fun. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah.
I've
So,
I've
so
got
fun.
I've got a client that wants to make shirts that say, what would Sam do? It's like, I
I
don't
love
know.
it.
I don't always make good choices. I don't think we should.
So I want to share something too, Sam, that I feel like, there's this idea of, um, I almost hate to say it because it's so like it almost feels like it's drummed in, this idea of imposter syndrome.
Mhm.
And I watched Smith graduation's speech, the Smith College graduation speech this year in 2023. And I can't remember the name of the woman who spoke, but she talked about, people have asked me about imposter syndrome, and I'm going to just say we're stopping with that, because here's the thing. And this goes to a bigger point that I'll share also, but in the okay, I'm a bicycle rider. My husband and I, Sam, you know this, I think, we've ridden across Missouri on the Katy Trail. We rode 500 miles across Iowa. So this bicycle analogy is like, so in the 1920s in the United States, during the women's suffrage movement, bicycles were becoming popular. And there's people started talking about this thing called bicycle syndrome. Bicycle syndrome, like what's that? Bicycle syndrome. Well, women are having this problem. They're getting sweaty and they're getting flushed because they've been riding a bicycle. That's not right. Okay, like we don't worry about it when men ride a bike and get sweaty and flushed. Well, here's the thing. That was the women's suffrage movement. And let's keep women small. Let's, women were starting to ride bikes. That was a form of freedom, because back then they would have to have their coachman come get them, or their, significant other drive them somewhere. But this bicycle gave them the freedom to go to other towns, to spread their reach more than they were in the past. So then there's this thing called bicycle syndrome. What a crock, right? Like,
Right?
bicycle syndrome. Like, we think of it now and it's so funny.
Right.
However, when we think of when I think of, like, there are things historically that women have, and you have amazing men in your life. I have amazing men in my life. However, historically, there are things in our culture that, we know less than 2% of women-owned businesses have reached the $1 million mark. We're celebrating in 2023 that we've got 10% of Fortune 500 company CEOs. 10%. It's like, come on, we're 50% of the population.
Right.
When I graduated from college, a woman couldn't get a business loan without a man signing, right? So there are all of these things that are historical in nature. They're kind of, we've been culturized with those. It's not our fault. It's nobody's fault. I'm not about pointing blame at anybody, like bicycle syndrome. How
Right.
ridiculous, right? But here's the thing. It's our problem. It's
Mhm.
our problem. Because you know what? Who's going to fix it for us? Nobody.
Oh,
We are. We
yeah.
get to. We are here at a time on the planet. The Dalai Lama said it. It's the Western woman that's going to change the world. Let's go, girls.
You know what, ladies? What Julie just said is so powerful. I have to tell you something. As many of you know, I live in Mexico. Do you know that there's two women up for presidential nomination? Two women, one man. Come on, that's awesome. It'd be the first time,
Yeah.
right? So we are a movement and we are not alone, but you know, it's interesting. I was talking to Shelley last week on Wednesday. If you have a chance, go to the YouTube channel and watch that conversation too, because Shelley is her and her husband are big ass developers, multi-million-dollar developers in a resort town. And you know, when we live in places and they change, a lot of us don't like change, right? Like I'm leaving Cabo because it's gotten too big now, you know, but I'm used to it. I mean, I know I lived in Whistler, it's grew. But it's amazing how the men, because Shelley she's a badass, but she just smiles and then boom. You know what I mean?
Yep.
She just smiles and when, you know, oh, aren't you cute? Boom. It's like, you know, smacks them and they don't know what hit them.
Yeah, yeah.
We see, here's the thing that we get, because we get to be underestimated a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So what an advantage. Ladies, hear me what I'm telling you. Sneak up on them. I'm sneaking up on you. You know what I mean? Use what you got. I used to train a lot of sales, and I used to tell women, you can get away with a lot that men can't get away with. So,
interesting.
oh my God, we can get away with so much more. Isn't that cool? So if we know that maybe there's well, oops, I lost you.
I'm here.
No, I know, I pushed a button.
Oh.
You gave a very fascinating, you put something, I knew about the 2% and what percentage, and I've got the graph of who makes, you know, $250,000 a year, who makes 60, whatever. So we know that. You put it in perspective, Julie, when you said 50% of the planet is women, but only 10% of us are Fortune 500.
Yeah. Like think of here's another statistic too. Here's another, you know, I kind of geek out on this.
I like it. Geek away.
Good. So, so this is that was when I graduated from college, you know, that we couldn't get a business loan without a man.
Right.
And today, 10% of CEOs of Fortune 500 companies are women. Here's another thing. When my daughter graduated from college, women couldn't join. This goes to the point of less than 10% of women CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. When my daughter graduated from college, right? She's pretty young. She's in her 30s. She's in her mid 30s now. Women could not join the combat roles in the military in the United States. Well, you're like, well, why is that important? It left us out of the highest decision-making, the highest leadership, the highest influence, oh yes, and the highest salaries. So when we look at that as well, you know, paired with the 10% of women CEOs, it's the same thing. It leaves women out of the conversation, you know, of the top 10% of earning, decision-making, influence, and impact. So it's not our fault. And you know what, I might even shift the wording on this, Samantha, just from this conversation, but it is our responsibility.
Thank you.
Yeah, no one's going to do it for us. No one's going to do it for us.
Well, it's like, okay, so we're going to circle back to the brilliance thing, because ladies, we're safe here and we're all badasses and we know it. Come on, seriously. Like, what do they say? Like, giving birth is equivalent to crushing 20 bones in your body simultaneously. By the way, I gave birth to a 10-pound child without drugs. I'm going to say I agree with that.
Yeah.
God, anyway, but truthfully, we run our businesses or we run our departments. I know we run our houses because remember, I work predominantly with women. And so I know you, I see you, as does Julie. Take in all that you do and all that you're capable of.
Yeah.
Right? especially like at this time of year. My kids are in university, coming home next week. I'm so excited. Oh my God, I can't stand it. But I'm sitting there thinking about everything like the month of December meant to me when I had kids at home and I'm running my business. It's like, okay, well, I got to get everybody ready for the new year. All my business people, all my clients, we got to get their visions done. They got to close out the year. We got to know our business. Oh, and then I've got employees, we got bonuses. Oh, and then I got kids and I got the kids show. And then we have the Christmas parties. Oh, and then you got to go shopping. And then we have 10 balls in the air at all times and we rarely drop them.
Right.
And we rarely drop them.
Mm-hmm.
So show up, just show up. You're already ahead of most of the people out there.
Yeah.
Honest to goodness.
Show up for yourself, right?
Yeah, show up for yourself. Yeah. And just let that brilliance that was given to you. You didn't do anything to earn your brilliance. So you don't have to be shy about it. It's not and braggadocious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was given to you. It's kind of like Mary Morrissey used to say, it's like a hair. You know, we didn't do anything to deserve our hair.
Right.
Right.
And our breath.
And our breath. So
our brilliance woke us up this morning, right?
Your
brilliance woke you up this morning.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to share? Because this has been so yummy, but I have to get to work in 9 minutes.
Well, if there's anybody that would love to connect, I'd love to, invite your listeners, your community, to a workshop or a phone call. I would love to share that.
Please. So what I want you to do, my darling, is this is going to post in a minute, and then just go put all your contacts and everything, all your linky links in the comments.
Okay? I will.
Yeah. And is it snowing there?
No
snow in Colorado, or are you not in Colorado right now?
No, I'm in Colorado. There's we got frost. I'm looking out the windows because I have this office that's got two sides of windows. We got frost last night, but there's no snow. I'm at about a mile. I'm at about 5280. I'm just north of Denver, and no snow here. Yay! This is the beautiful thing about Colorado, that it melts, or at least on the Front Range, it melts, so that we have days of sunshine. Today doesn't look like a day of sunshine, but yeah.
Well, Cabo San Lucas is partly cloudy.
Oh.
There you go. Hey, are you going to come down this year? Because I think you should bring your camera and photograph me.
I think I should come. Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to read my little leaving the segment, but I have to say something that's not scripted first. Ladies, my Good to Great challenge starts January 1st. So you can actually feel good about procrastinating because we're not starting till January 1st. I'm not putting another thing on your plate right now. But I am going to say you need to register. A lot of people are in the Good to Great challenge group on Facebook, but you're not registered. You got to register for the drip, and then we're all going to do this together. And so it's set it and forget it. Go in and register. It's all over this page of the Women in Business Networking community. Or if you're on my mailing list, you've received an invitation to the Good to Great challenge. Register. It's going to be badass. We're going to have the best time. Baby steps, tiny little steps every day in the month of January. All right. So here we go. Thank you for tuning in today. Make sure and hit get notifications in this group so you don't miss your opportunities to talk and ask questions of our inspiring women in business. And if you're interested in learning more about purposefully designing your life, you look for my link in comments as well. Julie, I just love you. Thank you so much for making time for me and my girls today.
Love you too. Thank you.
All right, darling.
See
you soon.
Yes.
Merry Christmas. Bye.